Okay, I actually don't know how to start this video. Hey guys, what's up? It's Fran here, back with another video. So, today I'm going to be reading through some of my essays that I used to apply for colleges. For those of you who don't know, this year in 2026, I am a graduating college senior, and it's crazy to think about it, but 4 years ago, I was an aspiring freshman. And because I'm so close to climbing the stage and wearing my cap and gown and receiving my diploma, I thought why not reminisce and look back at some of the things that I had to do so that I could be where I'm at now. And of course, one of the things that was the biggest part of that were my college applications, and today I found some of the essays that I wrote as part of my requirements. So today we're going to be looking back at them. I hope you guys are excited. I'm really excited to look back at these because I've never read them since I submitted them. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay, so to start, I just want to give some context. During the time, I applied to 4 universities. So I applied to Ateneo, which is where I'm at now, UP, DLSU, and then the LaSalle School in my province. So I applied to just 4 universities. And out of those 4, 2 of them required essays. So they were Ateneo and DLSU. So I have them pulled up on my laptop. I'm excited to look back at them because, as I said, I've never read through them since I submitted them. So it's going to be interesting because I remember also a couple of years ago, people are like posting them on TikTok like, this is the essay that got me into this school. And I'm like, I just remembered I didn't really give like a lot of effort to my essay. Like I straight up just answered the questions and we're gonna see them later. Like kasi yung sa iba kong kakilala, ang bongga ng essay nila bago yung akin. Basta sinagot ko lang yung tanong kasi yun naman yung in-expect sa akin. So sinagot ko lang siya, hindi siya bonggang-bongga. So wag na tayo magpatumpik-tumpik pa. Boom ka. And basahin na natin yung unang statement. Statement or essay kasi yung file name ko is statement that I think yun yung tawag sa kanya. But we're gonna start off with my DLSU personal statement that I made. I can't exactly remember what I answered, like what questions I answered, but from what I remember, multiple questions siya. So multiple paragraphs yung nakikita ko dito. But we're gonna read through it. I am interested in attending the LaSalle University because I want to experience a new environment. I've been a student in my current school for a long time, and going to DLSU is a great opportunity to explore a vast realm filled with new experiences and challenges. That is true. In my high school, and which was also my elementary school, I spent 14 years there. So ito yung magiging first like new school ko in a way. With my interest came the process of choosing the degree program I wish to pursue, and the main factor I considered are my interests. With my interests are my interests. I am passionate about mathematics, and it is a vital part of my academic life. That is true. That is true. I am also interested in the business and finance field. That is true. I've always wanted to do business, but for those of you guys who don't know, I was never really the most decided with what I wanted to do after college. Like practicality, like aside, like kung hindi talaga siya basehan, I feel like I would have pursued either content creation fully, so like baka mag-multimedia or like something related to like production and whatnot, or probably something like math related. Like if yung practicality is like out of the way, if I really wanted to just pursue my interests, like yun lang talaga. Nag full on math talaga ako, pursue until PhD. Yun talaga yung idea ko before. Pero after ko kasi mag-contest nung junior high school, sabi ko sa sarili ko parang gusto ko na mag-retire, gusto ko na mag-move on dun sa part na yun ng life ko. So pag senior high, pagpasok ng senior high, parang I really needed to get my life together. Spoiler alert, I still didn't get it together. So that's why I ended up pursuing management engineering at Ateneo because it really opens up a lot of perspectives for me. It really gives me a lot of options because it immerses me in so many different fields, different areas. But I did take accounting and entrepreneurship nung junior high school, even though STEM student ako. So I really had a lot of worlds. I was immersed in a lot of worlds. And I think my experience in accounting and entrep really like made me want to have a business in the future. And then finance, that was at the time, like sobrang napagod na ako, natawa ako sa finance work sa college. So parang ayoko na. Kaya medyo marketing side, like dahil related din naman siya sa content creation. I ultimately arrived at my first and second program options. BS in statistics, major in actuarial science, and BS in mathematics with specialization in business applications. I actually did not remember like yung BS in mathematics with specialization in business applications. Hindi ko natandaan na pinili ko pala yun sa DLSU. Yung first choice ko, which was BS Stat, major in actuarial science, I ultimately got accepted to that program. Ultimately, I turned down DLSU because as much as I was a fan of the Lady Spikers, like yun lang naman talaga yung probable like reason why I would have wanted to pursue DLSU. It never was like a dream school for me, and I talked about earlier na hindi ko naman talaga alam kung ano yung gusto kong i-pursue, ano yung gusto kong gawin after education. So, hindi ko rin talaga alam kung ano yung, parang wala naman talaga akong naging dream school. Again, ultimately, I chose Ateneo because of my program, kasi ME ako. So, yun lang talaga siya. So, I'm reading the next paragraph, and the next paragraph says, a personal accomplishment I'm very proud of. So, I'm guessing the first question, the first guide question that I had to answer was like, why do I want to be in DLSU? And then I'm guessing next is like to tell us about like the accomplishment that you have. So let's see. I think, yeah, I was kind of expecting this to be like what I wrote at the time, since this was when I was still in grade 12. I feel like at the time I've accomplished a lot, but this was really the one that always stood out to me. So let's read it. A personal accomplishment I'm very proud of is when I topped our batch in the 10th grade. When I was in elementary, I graduated as class valedictorian. Honestly, I did not feel any pressure to achieve it. Oh my god, I'm not feeling any pressure right now.
I don't feel any pressure right now.
Okay, now looking back, thinking about it, I'm like, why did I not feel any pressure? Like, achieving valedictorian, to be fair, like, that was never in the cards. Like, I didn't really aim for that. Ang mahalaga sa akin is honor. And then, ayun, nakaabot naman. I had the mindset that I would accomplish it no matter the circumstances, and everything went accordingly. However, from 7th to 9th grade, I was never on top by the end of the year. That is true. So I felt pressure to reach the top again as I was about to finish junior high school. That, I think, is like true. Talagang parang naramdaman ko na siyang grade 10, and grade 10 was kind of difficult as well. Doon talaga like parang okay, ito na. I'm also preparing myself for senior high school na hindi talaga nagkatotoo in a sense dahil like senior high naman ako pero pandemic, so like fully online syempre. Ayun, parang na-pressure na talaga ako kasi I'm like, okay, let's do this one last year, let's go for it na again. As that academic year passed, I had to face many challenges that truly tested and hindered me in traveling the path towards my goal. Oh my gosh, feeling ko gusto ko talaga magsulat ng ganitong klaseng mga essay like writings dahil yun nga pag ginagamit yung mga word na travel the path, choose your own path, surpassing obstacles, hurdles, parang ganito din yung mga words na mga quote-unquote buzzwords na ginagamit ko sa mga speech ko. So like ayun, mga traverse, ganon. Ayun, parang OA, sinasabi ko na, oh, I did not feel any pressure from like becoming valedictorian ng elementary, and now I'm like, okay, the pressure is on. Like what happened to like academic weapon like mode level 999? Like what was the flip? What was the switch that flipped? What was the flip? What the flip? What was the switch that flipped? But all of a sudden, like, bakit ako na-pressure bigla? When I finally attained it, I felt really satisfied, but this achievement led to a huge realization. My performance in school is more than the ranking, and it's not about competing with anyone. Instead, it should focus on the effort I put into what I do, and it then challenged me to always do my best in everything. Ay, kapag. Not only did I reap the fruits of my labor that day, but I also obtained one of the most important life lessons I have brought with me since. Oh, that's cool. That I would say that's also like something that I do bring with me like to this day is like just do your best in everything, whatever the outcome is. I feel like there's that sense of satisfaction, there's that sense of fulfillment when I know to myself and I can tell myself I did my best. Lakas naman mukhang Miss Universe, gano'n. But yeah, looking back, it's good na I have those kinds of like mantras, like mindsets that I like look, I still carry with me to this day. Okay, the next paragraph is saying I see myself possessing various characteristics. I think this next like yung padulong portion is asking about like experiences I think with leadership. I think this is the essay that asked me what kind of leader I was, and I think kasi for context, I was also SSG president no high school, no grade 12. So I'm like, I vividly remember asking yung iba kong officer na nakabatch. I asked them like, anong klaseng leader ba ako? I see myself possessing various characteristics and values that have and will continue to help me become successful in my studies. Among them are two that I deem most important: being hardworking and mindful. Interesting. Pag nag-identify ng strengths, feeling ko ganito rin mga sinasabi ko, but I'm interested with, I think hardworking is something I always mention, pero yung mindful, I'm like, mindful of what? That's the first question that comes to mind. Guys, bababa ko muna yung laptop ko dito. Dahil nakatungo ako, like nabasa lang dito yung laptop ko kasi nakakangalay din pala siya. The next sentence after yung hardworking and mindful: I like being busy. Ulol. Be, workaholic. Alam kong workaholic ka, nakalagay yun sa Instagram bio ko, you're workaholic homie. Pero, nakapagod. Like, oo ka ng oo. I enjoy putting extensive effort into schoolwork and get satisfied whenever I accomplish a task. That is true. That's one of my, like, something that I always say is like a tip of mine that I give whenever in terms of, like, how I maintain, like, my productivity. I always, like, tell people, like, make a to-do list and then check things off because there's nothing more satisfying than checking something off your to-do list. It really gets me going as well. So, parang ganun. I'm also self-aware as I am mindful of my time and actions. These two traits go together. I believe I am at my best if I focus and continue working efficiently to achieve my goals. I just feel like yung mindful aspect, I'm like, I just feel like it's something I wouldn't necessarily say now. Like what I mean is if I were to write this essay again, and if I answer that guide question, I just feel like I wouldn't answer it like that way. I feel like hardworking might still stay the same. I feel like I would say something like organized or consistent instead of like mindful. The last paragraph starts with I am a leader leader. So I'm pretty sure ito nga yung tinutukoy ko kanina na tinatanong ako kung anong klaseng leader ako. So let's read it. I am a leader. I'm currently the president of our school's high school student council. I consider my leadership style to be a combination of leading and following. As a president, I frequently provide tasks and set goals for my fellow officers. However, that is not always the case. Because I am the president does not mean I am always the person with the most power and authority. I also allow others to take charge while I lower myself to be a listener and a follower, which I think in my experiences, I feel like that's something that I've also kept true to myself, is that I like taking initiative, but at the same time, I also want to give others the spotlight and give them the time and give them the time to voice out their opinions and their ideas as well. That's something that I would say is still pretty accurate today. That's pretty good that I was able to mention that. And that's it. It's not really, again, it's more of like a direct answering of the guide questions that were provided to me, so not really like the most colorful kind of essay. This is a pretty good essay. Again, I got accepted to DLSU for BS Stat, major in actuarial science, but yeah, I turned it down. It's great to look back at it, and I was glad I got accepted. Okay, eto na. Atin na ang puntahan ng aking Ateneo essay, and I found a file, and the question is here, so we're gonna see, because hindi siya like set of guide questions compared to DLSU, or at least yun yung natatanong ko for DLSU, but this time there is the question. Mahiwagang tanong noong time ko. Gabi naman nung time ko. Like, this was 4 years ago. Please choose at least one significant experience or accomplishment that has helped define you as a person. So it's like similar to like yung 10th grade MN na sinulat ko sa DLSU essay ko. Okay, pinasadahan ko lang ng mata ko, gamit ang mata ko, yung first paragraph, medyo nababaliw na agad ako sa mga pinagsasabi ko. If you were to ask me how I would define myself, it would be hard because I think I am a multifaceted person. Multifaceted? Hello? With a plethora? That's like a word I love using when I had the opportunity in plethora. Plethora! With a plethora of life experiences, there are so many ways to describe me. I wanted to focus on who I am Why? To my 2021 self, why did you say this? I wanted to focus on who I am as an intelligent student, as plenty of my life revolves around academic excellence. Yabang mo! Okay, pampalubag loob ng onte. If I were to define myself, I give my best in everything I do. Bongga ka dyan. 2 experiences in my life led to this definition of myself. The first of which... Okay, pinasadahan ko lang siya kasi we're gonna get a little vulnerable because this was genuinely one of the lowest points in my life. I feel it's been almost a decade since this happened. This happened back in 2016, so I feel comfortable sharing it now because again, it's been so long and it was a defining moment for me. The first of which occurred back in 7th grade. For some background, I was a consistent honor student in elementary. From 1st to 6th grade, I was always near the top. In addition, I also graduated as class valedictorian. Felt like my elementary days were so relaxed and it gave me the idea that high school was going to be easy. However, I arrived at one of the lowest points in my life at the beginning of my junior high school journey. During the first grading period of my freshman year, it was so hard to write about this experience, not just because of the emotions that were felt during this time, but also because yung terminology kasi per school, iba-iba yan. So for example, may term kami sa school ko for section A sa ibang school. Yun yung isa. So I just felt like sometimes I'm prolonging things because I have to explain what this means in my context in my school. During the first grading period of my freshman year, I found out that I was part of the Achievers, the lowest group in our school's honor roll. I felt devastated, and not only did I disappoint myself, but I also disappointed my parents. During that moment, I knew what caused my failure. My lack of effort. As mentioned, I thought that high school would be unchallenging, but it certainly was not. Looking back, it seems like at that point, I did not see the reality that I was already in junior high school, hence my relaxed behavior. Parang same thought lang siya. I also think that being very used to excellence in the past contributed to my conduct. Therefore, that experience of not being even near the top inspired me to work hard and do my best so I could achieve the success I'm capable of reaching. Wow, that went deep. That's something that parang I tried to forget about, but yeah, it did happen. It was bad. It was one of, again, I mentioned it here as well, it was one of the lowest points in my life because I was so used to just being good. So when it hits you, hindi ko lang ba't naisip ko i-connect sa Drag Race. Parang if you're always in the top, it hits you, you will spiral when you're in the bottom. Parang ganon. Okay, let's move on. The next one is it's very much lighter. It's the same thing I mentioned in my DLSU essay. Another significant accomplishment of mine that happened to be an experience that defined me as a person was when I topped our batch in the 10th grade. It was previously mentioned that when I was in elementary, I graduated as class valedictorian. Honestly, some of this I literally just copied from my LaSalle essay. I'm just realizing. I mean, I wouldn't really blame myself because it's the same thought, it's the same information that I'm sharing to a different university. I would say that's efficiency. These experiences, together with the many others, have truly made me realize that I'm never always on top. I will reach a point in time when I'm number 2 or even lower. I was also presented with the reality that there's no need to be the best every time. What is important is that I give the best I can in everything I do. And being deemed the best, that is just a bonus. See? Same mindset of like being like good and like being, what did I say? Give your best. And like if you're satisfied with it, then that's good. And then whatever comes after is like bonus. Ganon. But that was my Ateneo essay. And like just looking back, like, you know, it's crazy to look back at it because I'm like, again, one, could have improved on it quite a bit. Like improving it a lot, honestly. I could have maybe gone a little longer, have more experiences and like be more creative when it comes to writing it. But I'm really happy with what I wrote. Look at me now. In a few months, at the time you're watching this, I will be climbing the stairs of a stage and I will be getting my diploma and I'll be graduating. So that's crazy. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this, which by the way, I enjoyed this so much looking back and as always, cringing a little bit in the process, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and comment down below your dream school, like whatever it is, like comment anything, honestly, at this point. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to be a part of the Frandom and hit that bell to turn on my post notifications so that you never miss an upload. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. And always remember, you're fantastic. Bye!